Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Shamak with the Great Millstone Cleveland branch. I want to start off by, of course, giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to everybody that's tuning in, listening and learning, getting this edification from several brothers doing this ministry from the four corners of the earth. Shalom. And I just want to give it a couple of precepts concerning women, so that brothers will get a good understanding, and, maybe if you, Aquaf, your sisters come in and listen and learn, you could get some understanding as well, how to be more like the ancient women that had more honor, in their men, and our forefathers, and just have more fear of the Lord. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and verse 3. It says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Right? So we ain't supposed to waste our strength on women, It says, when you read it in the NLT, it says, do not waste your strength on women, on those who ruin kings, right? Because even the greatest king that was on the earth, Solomon, how did he fall? He fell to the woman of his idols, he fell to the idols of his women. Well, he fell to the women by indulging in their idols, and the scriptures talk about that, how a woman can basically be a ruin. This is the book of Luke, chapter 17, and verse 32. It says, remember Lot's wife. It says, whosoever shall seek his life, seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it, right? So, we have to remember Lot's wife. That goes for men and women. She wanted to look back, and she ended up receiving the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah, just by looking back, she was turned into a pillar of salt, like the scriptures say, right? And we know that in the book of Ecclesiastes, the scripture talk about how, the Lord had found how the Lord found one righteous man, but other woman he ain't found none. Well, let me get that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes 7:28. It says, verse 27. Behold, this I have found, saith the Lord, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Right, so he ain't found not one woman that's righteous, man. If you get a good woman, that's willing to at least, hearken and, you know, give you some leeway to deal with her shit, you know, that's a blessing from the Lord. Let's get the book of Proverbs. No, I'm sorry. I want to get the book of Exodus, chapter 2. Because this is a spirit our women got to be in, man. Can't be out here like these machine generated nigga women out here, man. That's going after the way of life that Esau provides to the men and women of our nation, which is niggers. Being niggas. That dark black shit, that confusion shit. This is Exodus chapter 2. In verse I'll start at verse Exodus chapter 1, and let me start at verse Let me start at verse 7. It says, "And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph." Right, this was after the generation of Joseph had died. All his brothers, Benjamin and all the rest of the brothers, Judah, Reuben, Simeon. Well, you can read that in verse 6. It says, "And Joseph died, and his brethren, and all that generation." But let's go down to verse 8. "Now there arose up a new king over Egypt." Egypt in the Hebrew is Matazarium, meaning straits. It says, "On which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us." Right? They were scared of the nation of Israel. They had fear that he said, lest war break out and they join with the enemies. Right? He was despising the nation of Israel, unlike the Pharaoh that Joseph ruled under. He had compassion unto Joseph and his father Jacob and his brothers. He allowed them to dwell in the land, be fruitful, fed them during the famine. All right, but this Egypt king was different. He was more wicked. It says they join also unto our enemies and fight us. Verse 11, therefore, it says they was fight against us, and so verse 10, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. It says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. So, right, so, the king of Egypt kept trying to plague them, but they kept growing. They kept populating. They kept popping their women. In this day and age, popping women come with consequences, man. You gotta be able to make sure that you can afford children. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta make sure that the woman is is fit to be a parent. Shit, you gotta make sure you mentally stable to take care of the child. Go out of your way to take care of the child. It says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, right? So the Egyptians, they was pissed, man. You start making them serve without mercy. Let me skip a verse. It says, in verse 15, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives. This is a wicked act. Really, our women ain't supposed to have no dealings with the heathen, man. That's why the Lord, had the wrath on Simeon and Levi like that when their stepdaughter Dinah was raped. It says but it's more of a wicked time now. We got our women that's going out of their way just to deal with the heathen, just because because of their pride or whatever their mother taught them or something. It says of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. All right, so he wanted to talk to Hebrew midwives. Verse 16, and he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Right, that was a command that he put out. That and this during the time of Moses. Moses about to come on the scene. He told the midwives, if you if the baby a boy, then you gotta kill him. But if it's a girl, then they okay. Verse 17. But the midwives feared Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men child alive. Right, so they feared the Lord, man. They didn't really budge. They kept the men alive. As wicked as this Egyptian king was. All right. But yeah, you keep reading, you know what I'm saying? Up until Moses about to come up on the scene. Now, I pulled that just to show that, our women, were honorable, you still got some of our women that's a lot of our women that's honorable, but a lot of these women that you see now, that's on the forefront of America, the way of life for black women, they not gonna make it, man. They gonna get destroyed because they too wicked. The Lord, the woman that's gonna get delivered is gonna be more so woman that's gonna cater towards, cater to the Lord like this. Have more dignity and honor about themselves and respect about their nation. And we know that the elect can come from anywhere. An elect member can really spring out of any land, out of any lifestyle, to come into the knowledge of the Lord, to either, become a prophet or become a woman of a man of the Lord. But that's just something that I wanted to go into, dealing with those righteous women, because they have faith. You have other righteous women, like during the time of the Grecian Empire. You had these creeps that was ruling during the time of the Greeks, that was being wicked to the nation of Israel, such as Antiochus Epiphanes, But our women displayed sacrificing through the fear of the Lord in that time. I'm going to close out with this book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, and verse verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image of and glory of Yahweh, but the woman is the glory of the man. The woman is the glory of the man. We the glory of God. We the glory of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Right? The Lord looks at his man, he sees like a fine woman. We look at our women and we see a fine woman. Just using that analogy so you can understand. It says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man, right? You got a lot of people saying, the woman, she produces seed. Well, if that's the case, then why can't women impregnate themselves? That's you gotta go after what the scriptures say. Verse 9, it says, neither was the man created for the woman. But this is why a lot of people don't like the Bible. That's why specifically a lot of women, a lot of Israelite women, they don't like the Bible. They don't want to hear the Bible. And a lot of men, they don't believe this verse right here. That the man was created over the woman and the woman was created for the man. They don't believe that. But it's right up in here in the scriptures. Whether you believe it or not. It says, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. It says, nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. It says, for as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of Yahweh, right? So yeah, the NLT is straight up going off. That's why you gotta chew the meat and spit out the bones with your devices. You gotta know your devices, because they just said some bullshit in this verse 12. But we know that when it say even so is the man also by the woman, that mean that they together. You ain't got the man without. It's just, the Lord said it's not good that a man should be alone. right? Once again, a woman is there to help produce and to bear children, nourish them. Well, I'm gonna end it with that. Um, might end up doing a part 2. The Lord put the Spirit on me to do it, but Lord's willing, I was edifying to an elect member. Lord's willing, we start to get more righteous women. This is the tabernacle of the Lord. The tabernacle of the Lord is with men, and we don't really, you know, give the woman too much authority, because that's what the scriptures say not to do. We ain't got our women teaching on the line. They want to teach, they can teach the children or teach another woman or something. It's order that comes. It's an order that comes with this, and we get our order from the scriptures. So Lord's willing to edify Tawadi Habasham Shah for giving us the spiritual lesson. That's how I say shalom. Shalom.